Hello everybody, I'm Sam. This is my garage. Welcome to my channel. Today's video I'm going to be working on the Dnepr sidecar bike that runs. So you get to see a running one, and I'll explain a little bit about the company Dnepr, who they are, where they're from. Alright, let's get on it. So the company Dnepr actually started in Kyiv, Ukraine back in 1949. KMZ is generally, I think the name started back then for Kyiv Motor Works or something like that. It was kind of a Soviet era-born motorcycle company that produced originally a 98cc two-stroke motor that was taken from a German motorcycle plant from World War II called the Wanderer. They just confiscated the factory and tooling and stuff and started producing that 98cc two-stroke. A few years later in the 50s, 1956, 57 or so, they started producing a flathead design based on the BMW R71. That's the old bike that I'm working on restoring right now, or at least getting running first, and then we'll figure out where to go from there. In the late 50s, they started producing it. In the 60s, they came with a swing arm rear end. And so the one that I have has a swing arm rear end, which is definitely 1960s. So the one that I'm working on right now is actually a MB 650 or K650. And that one is the first one called the Dnepr. That one started also in the 1960s. And it was to celebrate some 50th anniversary, like some anniversary of a Soviet October Revolution party thing. And the first one was just called the K650. In the years that followed, there was what they called a MT-9, then an MT-10. I do believe this is a MT-11, could be an MT-16. As far as the different models are concerned, the first K650, it could come in, and it was the first of what was generally called a Cossack motorcycle, and even sold in the UK in the 70s as Cossack motorcycles, coming from the plant in Kyiv. As far as the different models and designations are concerned, I think the some of them got the shaft drive, so the not all of them are also driven on the sidecar wheel. This guy is. So he's driven two-wheel drive motorcycles, so it's a little cooler for that kind of feature. Definitely Ural, which is another bike, pretty much the same. It's based off of the same motorcycle, everything else. It's a Soviet bike. As far as the Ural goes, it has a lockable rear diff. And I think that's on the more modern ones. I have no idea if the old ones are like this, but this has a open differential on the rear end, so does not lock. I can't lock the differential like you can on a Ural, but a Ural you can only lock them on the newer ones at least. Forgive me if I don't know about Ural on the older ones. I'm learning about these things as I go. But yeah, the MT-9 was the first Dnepr motorcycle that had reverse, and I think it even had a foot actuated kind of clutch release also, which was pretty cool. I don't think this bike that I have currently has that type of mechanism. Then there was the MT-10, everything else, and these are the KMZ heavy motorcycles. They even produced Russian military motorcycles as well. For the K750, the old guy that I have over there, the military version did have the two-wheel drive sidecar. The one I own is not the military version. The sidecar is not driven, just the motorcycle. The last time I went to start this bike, the throttle got stuck. I've already had to manufacture this little piece to go on the end, and what it does is it pinches two throttle cables right into the sides here. And the last one that came with the bike that was original, it snapped on me and broke, and that was a fun time getting home. Then it got stuck on me, and now I've had to pull it all apart, which means you got to pull the slides out of the carbs to get enough slack in the cables to get them reinserted back into this guy, and it's giving me a little trouble today. Unfortunately, I don't remember where I put the throttle screws, so I'm gonna have to go look around the shop. Ugh. Found them. That's not good. Damn it. By the way, I haven't said it in these videos, but I don't particularly like these carbs. Oh, broke my phone probably too. Fortunately, my phone is only slightly broken. Second time I've dropped it filming. It's not good. Oh, don't drop your phone. All right. I don't particularly like the design of these carbs. They're really difficult to get together. Maybe there's some trick or something. I don't know, but they've given me a lot of grief trying to piece everything in them. They are something else. I'll tell you what. Work with me. Keep everything inside. Oh, about to drop stuff again. Spring's coming loose. God. Please. Please, little guy. I'm begging you. It's your home. Go to your home. Oh, it just keeps going back in deeper. Don't shy away. Oh. Ow. Ow. Oh. See? Really easy carbs to work with. My fingers hurt. I mean, have you ever seen a slide like that? I don't know. It's just a really odd little design. One of the unfortunate things that happened to the company Dnepr was after the fall of the Soviet Union, and they really slowed down production and eventually just fell apart in the 90s. So this company is actually no more. Plenty of bikes still out and around, some parts to be found if you shop in Eastern Europe. You know, it's one of those kind of deals at this point. But somehow I've ended up with 2 in 1 year. And before this year, I didn't even know that Dnepr existed. I'd never heard of like Ural. Thought they were really cool. Kind of wanted to buy one. Sidecar bikes that, honestly, this one I'm working on might get up to 40, 45 miles an hour. Going downhill with a pretty good wind behind it. Might hit 50. I don't even know if you want to go 50. Going 25 miles an hour on this bike feels fast. Fast is relative. But today, hopefully, we're going to get it started. If I can get carbs back together. There's those church bells again. I live right by church. They're the noisiest neighbors on Sundays. I kid. I don't go to church, but I like the bells. So one of the things that these kind of Russian bikes are world renowned for, especially the 2-wheel drive versions, is their off-road capability. Today we're going to test that in the snow. I'm excited. So now, in order to get that, I'm gonna have to somehow get this thing started. It's a little cold-natured, so work with me. Is what a sidecar bike is all about. This is what it does. Nothing else really. Woo! Fingers cold. Ha! All right. That is too much fun. I gotta warm up my fingers. Been riding it for a minute. Oh, well, it's about today's video. It's a shame that I guess Dnepr still keeps going on kind of through Ural. And Ural motorcycles are awesome, and Dneprs are awesome. They have their limitations, but today's a day that makes me happy I have one. Thanks for joining.